Today we are here to ask Mr. or Professor Bush a few questions about the naturalization process.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
He is a former history teacher from Harvard University.
Yes.
So this should be interesting. Get excited.
It will be. Yes.
For our first question, what is the naturalization process?
That's a very good question. Naturalization is the voluntary and legal process for a foreign-born person to become a citizen of a country, a legal citizen.
Okay, that was actually very good for history. Now, I'm glad you told me that. Because, well, yeah. For now, our second question. Can you give me the history of the naturalization process?
It's a very long and broad history, but I can definitely do what I can to give it to you as quick as I can. Well, the first Naturalization Act was in 1790, and this allowed free whites of good moral character who had residency for at least 2 years the ability to apply for citizenship. Now, at the same time, it restricted the rights of Native Americans and other non-white groups and their abilities to apply for citizenship. Now, in 1870, the Naturalization Act of 1870 was passed, and this actually allowed African Americans the ability to apply to become citizens. Now, not too long after that, in 1882, the Chinese Exclusion Act was passed, and this barred and restricted the immigration and naturalization abilities of many non-white groups, including the Chinese, as you can guess from the name. We move on to the early 20th century. The Immigration Act of 1924 was established, and this actually opened the way for many Northern and Western European whites the ability to apply for citizenship, and at the same time discriminated for many Eastern European and Asians and other groups. Now, after that, we really get into the World War II times, and I'm not sure if you want me to go that far.
Sure, go ahead.
Of course, I can do that. Well, following through to the 1960s, the Civil Rights Movement had monumental changes, and during that movement, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 was passed, and it eliminated the quotas and the bars, the obstacles, if you will, that were put in place for many non-white groups and their ability to become citizens and to immigrate. And when you fast forward now to our more modern times, in 2003, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services was established, and this oversees that whole naturalization process. And that's what we have in place today.
All right. Okay. And I'd like to ask another question.
Of course, go ahead.
Can you describe the process of the naturalization currently here in the United States?
Can I describe the process of naturalization currently in the United States? Is that the question?
Yep.
Just had to make sure. But yes, I can. Currently, if you are trying to become a naturalized citizen of the United States, there's a couple of criteria that you're going to have to meet. You are going to have to be at least 18 years old. You'll have to be a lawful permanent resident, what they call a green card holder, for at least 5 years in the country. 3 if you're married. You have to show good moral character. You can't be a criminal. And you have to be able to speak and read and write English at a basic level. And lastly, you're probably going to have to, well, not probably, you will have to take some history tests and some government tests, testing your knowledge on those areas of the United States. Long story short, to not keep it too boring, you'll have to fill out a form. You submit that. And after your application is looked at, if you're chosen, they'll set you up for an appointment where they'll get your fingerprints and your eye scans. They'll set you up for an interview where they'll ask you things about where you've been, how you grew up, and then you'll take those tests. Test on the history of the United States, a test on our government, how it's broken down, and hopefully you'll receive a letter in the mail saying that you are now a naturalized U.S. citizen. That's how we do it today.
Thank you for your time, Professor Bush. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I hope it wasn't too boring.
It was not. It was very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you.